When Cyberpunk 2077 was first announced for PS4, I was really excited. I had loved The Witcher 3, and I just couldn't wait to basically play The Witcher 3 in a cyberpunk setting. Then the announcement came out that it was going to be a first-person shooter. I wanted third person really bad, but I eventually got over it. And then the game actually came out, and it was basically unplayable. There were bugs. The frame rate was absolutely horrible during some parts, and so I was like, okay, I'm disappointed, but I'll wait until they fix it. Well, a year later, the PS5 had come out. I got a PS5, and reports were that the PS4 version ran a little bit better, but I still was apprehensive. But it was $10 one day. I bought it, and I'm so glad I did, because the PS4 version, even after all those patches, it ran really well on the PS5, 60 frames per second. There wasn't as much traffic, for example, or as many populated streets, but funny enough, when I did upgrade to the PS5 version, I actually had trouble driving because I wasn't used to dodging as much traffic as there was. Small complaint, but honestly, it didn't affect the game. It didn't impact it negatively in any way. I was able to do everything I wanted. There was no game-breaking bugs. And it was honestly looked pretty good most of the time. It had the downtown streets that were rain-soaked, and you look up at the buildings, and then you also have the sun-soaked desert. And there were just really some beautiful aspects of it from a graphical standpoint. But it's not really like a graphical powerhouse like, say, Horizon Forbidden West, but it looks good. The character models looks good when you're talking to them. They look okay in this type of setting where, you know, you're just blasting, but I can see why they went first person. I mean, there's so much shooting. Even the katana and the other melee weapons work really well in first person. It's really smooth. You jump around really well, kind of like a Deathloop style. It feels really good controlling it. You're not a tank by any means. But really what makes the game is the same thing that made The Witcher 3 so good. Absolutely terrific questing, side quests, primary quests, meeting those characters. And then I think one thing this game did way better was the romance or relationship quests. I was honestly sad when I found out I didn't get to keep romancing someone. Now there is some great stuff at the end of the game where they come back in, and that kind of provides closure depending on what endings you get. But it was great, and I feeling sad that part was over is a good sign that it was a well-told story and good relationship. So going through the whole game, minor complaints, but the RPG elements, the story stuff that you would expect from The Witcher 3 is all there, and that's really what makes the game. I would definitely recommend this, especially if you can get the PS5 version. I don't know about still being the PS4, but it was absolutely amazing and probably one of my favorite games, or at least at the time it was.